Welcome everybody, this is your Strategy Wolf and welcome back to Victoria 3 and welcome back to our Mexican Republic in January 1911. Welcome back to our, with our president Melchor Arguello from the trade unions. And yeah, we are in a situation 1911. Last time we through a kind of wonder we managed to have the Americans, the United States, back down with the claims on California and therefore preventing another frustrating stalemate war through the American West. So it seems like Mexico is going to stay like this, but don't forget about our new acquisition of Alaska up here. So Mexico is pretty impressive these days. Apart from this, we are facing still tensions in the populations. They're still growing and due to a lot of migration. And kind of realistically, on the one hand we have the Liberal Party that kind of supports this, run by Social Democrats and market liberals. But the Conservatives are partially happy about it, but of course the fascist party led by the armed forces and Catholic Church down here, it seems to rise up against, or rise up would be try to be a counterpart to our liberal politics. However, we still have it under control, and we might even get in a better situation by passing the women's suffrage and therefore have the women voting right here in Mexico, which might to a less aggressive voting behavior, since women tend to vote more. Actually, they would vote for the Catholic Church more, but less for armed forces and so forth. So let's see where this is leading us to. Somehow our economy is growing steadily and nicely, so that's kind of really good to see. Let's see what we can do. And I already started in here, but something else we of course have to talk about is that, if you haven't noticed yet, we are slowly phasing out with this Let's Play. Potentially with 1 or 2, including this 1 or 3 more episodes, depending on the time I find to produce and if we find a fantastic spot to end this with a ideal climax. I doubt it, to be honest. There must be something magnificent, but we're coming with an upcoming DLC. We're definitely starting a new one, trying out the Spheres of Influence, all the new the great game, on all the new features that are included, foreign investment, lobbies and so forth. I just roughly had an overview, so I'm also excited to go in with you. It might be even blind, we shall see. Maybe probably I'm gonna be too greedy and have a couple of looks into DLC before we start together. However, it seems like it's going to be Russia. If you don't want it to be Russia, there's still my survey going on, and I haven't defined our due date, but I guess until the DLC comes out you have the chance to influence the public opinion with your vote. And if we are playing the Great Britain or Russia, we're definitely going to add some house rules or something to put us a little bit more into the environment of the 19th century and to make the game a little bit harder for us, since one of these 2 great powers is probably a little bit too easy. Anyways, let's make Guatemalans a little bit more loyal, even though it's not that many of them. That's what's up over there. Apart from this, I think we're running out of authority. That's interesting. Maybe we can get rid of tax over here. Maybe luxury clothes, paper. Paper might be smart, right? Yeah, come on. Remove the consumption tax on paper. We can afford it. And we want the authority. German Empire ended the rivalry with France. Okay, interesting. I mean, Alsace-Lorraine is anyways German, so I guess it makes sense. And I was complaining last time already that the French definitely don't... Oh, they even part in the Russian market. Oh my god. France. What the hell? The Russians control Brazil and Venezuela and they're all part of the Russian market? How did this happen? Insane. And the weird thing is that doesn't even make sense, and if you have Brazil, Brazil's GDP is absolutely underwhelming. They managed to turn into a republic, however, in a democracy, right? Still landed voting and censorship. However, still I would presidential republic somehow. But if you I mean, Brazil and Russia might be the biggest supplier of raw materials next to United States or Canada or Africa. And then joining forces in the same market. Well, anybody industrializing of those guys? Russia not. Yeah. Russia still with a lower GDP. We are numbered. Mexico has the third highest GDP worldwide. But we... Oh, what? The US took over in terms of prestige? How did this happen? That's... but 15 prestige, so this is like... We're not gonna end this Let's Play before we're not in front of the United States in terms of... We want to be the main power in North America. And not these religiously insane weirdos from the Northeast. And there we go, we get another Indian migration and another Kikuyu, British East Africa, so African migration, alright. And what more? What is happening? 3 migration waves at the same time from British possessed Africas. Yeah. Well, basically everybody is coming to Mexico these days. Maybe we should pay for a wall and build it. Just kidding. What's happening? We're falling up. Even Italy just overtook us too. Well, then we're back before Italy. But yeah, standard of living wise, among the great powers, we're on same as German Empire, and then we just have tinier states like Serbia, Australia, Tahiti. But Tahiti has the highest standard of living, okay. Sweden and Norway, sure. This makes a... In the German market, okay, the German market extends to Scandinavia, makes sense. Do the Germans have any colonies? Doesn't look like it. It's impressive that they still managed to, with their relatively small markets, with just the Scandinavians and the Germans. I mean, Germany has a lot to offer for industrialization, of course, but still impressive. I mean, we are supplying them heavily also with a couple of things. And we have to, yeah. We're gonna have a look on our trade routes anyways by the end of this, then we shall see. Women's suffrage has been passed, so more legitimacy for us, more workforce ratio, lower birth rate. But yeah, since we have this migration, I think birth rate really doesn't matter for us anymore. And we got the first election. Mexico is holding its first election since the voting franchise was extended to women, marking the beginning of a new era in Mexican democracy. Dropping her vote into the ballot box was, in a way, an anticlimactic moment. Getting there had felt like a real political struggle. It had been loud, disobedient, sometimes violent. The reward was this quiet, orderly exercise of power. Once again she was a loyal citizen, only the expectations had changed. Then again, perhaps this was what power felt like. Perhaps that was what made it insidious. She wondered if this had been how those who had denied her this up until now had felt. What? She wondered if this had been how those who had denied her this up until now had felt. For a fleeting moment she hoped she would not get used to it. The workers' movement must continue to fight for equality. Equality is part of our intellectual tradition, or a great victory for the suffragists. Who is Francisco Barragan? From the Roll Fork, but they're happy, right? So then, Intelligence against the feminist ideology. How is the Intelligentsia doing? Oh, we could do this. Or workers' movement. But they're quite strong and happy already. Now then, equality is part of our intellectual tradition. Boom, and then makes the Intelligentsia way more loyal. Muy bien. Yeah, while we're already on it, let's have a next look if we can continue maybe with our restricted child labor, because child labor is still allowed. Yeah, Roll Fork would go to 0. Catholic Church hates us anyways. Already this is bearable. Somehow the Intelligentsia is against it, but now they seem to have gotten quite happy recently. Industrials already radical anyways. Well, let's try it, I would say. And armed forces are gonna like it a lot. The rest, yeah. Let's do it. Restricted child labor. Let's try to do that and pass it through. We have now this strong... the fascists are actually with us now on this one. Seems like just that we have a heavily annoyed and angry conservative bloc against us. Oh wow, the Catholic Church actually switched sides and left the fascist party, went to the conservative. We just have the... Okay, we just have the armed force and the petit bourgeois in the fascist party, and the petit bourgeois being very happy that recently. Oh. It is what it is. And wow, our income is increasing and increasing. I mean, Alaska is providing, I guess this, oh yeah, this might have been a big one. Let's see how much minting we do in Alaska. Yeah, 16,000, so not, or 17,000 still. Social security has been increased. When is the damn strike over? Oh, they need to be need to calm down and get less radical. I feel like we're gonna be in a perma state of strike. Yeah, at some point I will lower the taxes too. It's probably the easiest way to make people happy. Or increase the living standard of living. Actually, maybe I'm considering to do it right now. It will drop us heavily into debt, but sometimes the effects, of course, yeah, sure, you see, it would cost us 136k and we have a plus 65 right now, so basically 70k minus after the step. But you can never really tell how this materializes, especially since it would leave basically more money to the public or to the pubs that they could either reinvest into the also investment for, or into more consumption, which again would lead to higher or like a higher number of taxes being done. So sometimes the effects counteracted over time a bit. So guys, whatever, we're really doing really well over here. Let's try it. Lower taxes to low. And see, maybe also the industrialists will enjoy this a lot. Minus 70k as prognosed, but yeah, as you see already, standard of living .1 up. Worst case, we have to issue some more consumption taxes again. The grand plan pays off. Miguel Trejo, the methodical leader of the petit bourgeois, has been studiously working behind the scenes for some time now, and at last all his work has paid off for petit bourgeois and Mexico. The man is so pleased with his acts that he looks like he's about to burst into flames of contained emotion. A charming, professionally speaking, though not the most clever move. Yes, just as planned. The petit bourgeois shall reap the rewards. Momentum to the fascists? No. Mexico shall reap the rewards. Oh, absolutely. Wow. Loan interest rate and reserve limit. Okay. This will help us, especially since we're just going more into debt. And false democracy. Juan Bautista Hinojosa is issued a condemnation of the Mexican electoral system, endorsing abstention from voting in what he calls a sham put on to placate the people. In the dictatorship of the reactionary, of the rich and powerful, obscured from the view of the people by a facade of democracy, the best thing one may do is demonstrate the futility of such a guise, so that the people may be spurred into action regardless of concession. Government must know what we see through their system. No. Discrediting the system is the next step towards revolution. No. Or their supporters aren't voting. Ours certainly are. I don't know. I mean, it's the will of the people, so I think I'm going peaceful. Their supporters aren't voting. Ours certainly are. Let's do that. I think it's gonna be fine. Yeah, I mean, this helps the conservatives, but the liberals are still pretty much in the lead. And as you see, yeah, we started with 70k, and now it already went down a bit. And now minus 50, and I think for some time we can bear this situation. Yeah, also we are extending our oil production in the meantime. Talking about it, we should have a look at some of these things. Yeah, we can. Let's export a bit more. Yeah, we have a couple of bureaucracy left. Something we should do. Where do we have shipyards? In Ecuador, okay. No, they can export themselves. We're not exporting for the Ecuadorians. Oh, we have tons of steamers. Are these ours? Oil, yeah, oil. Oh, we have a lot of oil production now. And And now oil is getting really precious, so I really want to get it out, and I think I'm gonna even extend and fully yeah, get our oil production ramped up. Same with the coal. Interesting that we have a surplus of these kind of things. Especially raw materials, I think I'm happy to... Or everything cheap in the end, I'm happy to export right now. What about coffee, by the way? I think we've been... coffee is still... Coffee and tobacco are still expensive. We definitely need more sulfur. Yeah. And more opium. Let's have a quick look at what can be done, actually. Oh, totally forgot about this week. Oh, yeah, we can... increase here our... Yeah, we can use some dynamite, and then let's have a... Actually, we can also consider like getting some plantations to automatic irrigation. For example, for the coffee plantation, definitely cotton. No. Opium. I think opium in our case is coming from Max's. I think it's more like to cocaine or other drugs being represented by that. And there we got our elections. Oh, rubber. Well, let's see. I think we're gonna definitely, since we're exporting also a lot of rubber, let's fully exploit all of our rubber construction capacity. In the meantime, we had our elections, and how did they go? We had again a victory of the Liberal Party, and so there won't be any changes in the political system. Fascists remain happy in the opposition, while the conservative are a little bit split and partially extremely angry, but it seems to be bearable at the moment. So let's keep on going. Vineyards in California, okay. By the way, it seems like that our private construction is doing kind of a nice mix. Yeah, some people complain, and sometimes it's really odd what they're doing. If you have a closer look, sometimes they're really building factories in the most mountainous areas and so forth. I really hope that it's going to be changed a bit also with the new ownership model. Then we have where you have like the capitalists sitting in the capital, but workers in the factories somewhere else. Maybe this will help the AI a bit too. However, I do like to activate this, since some people say it's too ineffective. However, I think it represents a little bit more of a... Yeah, economical decisions can be explained very rationally, but I think they're not always done because transparency isn't given. So you would always see like a more spread out spatial construction of industry, and instead of just super concentrated, which is probably, according to economic law and Victoria's mechanics, the most efficient way to go, but this is one of the reasons why I like it, so you have more spread out stuff. Anyways, bureaucratic imbroglio. Lawmakers working towards the enactment of restricted child labor have found themselves mired in a particularly complex set of bureaucratic proceedings, grinding the work towards reform to a near halt. The fully developed bureaucratic apparatus compares with other organizations exactly as does the machine with the non-mechanical modes of production. That is to say, the teeth of this individual gears meet in a chord, or its gears will gnash and churn until it eventually breaks. Yeah, and I think I'm going for damn this labyrinthic illegal system. Or... No, actually we're going for this one, sorry guys. Cut through at least some of the red tape. Yeah, I don't wanna... We have only 30% success chance, so I rather want this going. We have... Oh! I was just about to say we have an excessive bureaucracy level. But yeah, just the 5% are hitting us. I didn't check this time. So I think I'm gonna, in this case, I'm gonna just prioritize the government buildings a bit. And yeah, I was promising you also to have a little bit Efisio Zella, exiled from Italy, to have a quick look on our trade routes and they have a look at all and just what are our main exports. Okay. Wow, the trade with the Germans is on top. I didn't expect... Yeah, since we we lost the trade with the Brits a bit. So we are selling a lot of rubber to Germany, a lot of tobacco. We are importing guns from the Germans, importing tools, exporting sugar, importing motors. Yeah, kind of classical. When you consider, oh, they're exporting to us these goods I can't even influence, and their rubber export is like independently happening. Nice. We import glass from the Russians. We export grain to Japan. A lot of here with the. Oh, we're importing food from the Russians. Okay. I'm surprised that it's a little bit low, the amounts. I would have guessed that this would be more like in the thousands or more of these rural exports, but I mean our market also grew significantly and the people in there, so our own consumption might be quite high. Yeah. Oh, wine. We have a surplus of wine. Let's export some from our Californian wines. Okay. Yeah, well, now you got yourself also a little bit of an overview. Let's have a look. Yeah, lead. Then we just increased our own lead production with the new technologies, I guess. Yeah, but sulfur we're gonna keep here since sulfur is always going to be. And also Max in his modding increased a little bit the scarcity of sulfur by reducing the production capacities. Burundi, we have an obligation on Burundi. Where's even Burundi? In Africa, I assume. How the hell did we end up with obligation on them? Yeah, we can absolve it. Not planning to do anything over there. And credit where credit's due. The recent investment in Mexico's production at our glassworks has raised the question who should get the credit for the boost in productions. Yeah, we'll get definitely for the trade unions since they are the happy ones. And filing cabinets. The use of filing cabinets in the government administration has drastically increased the effectiveness of state bureaucracy. The future isn't in flying like a bird, nor in roaring along in a train. No, the future is in filing. I love bureaucracy. Indeed, plus 5%, and our problems are being solved with this again. Yeah, wine production heavily extending. Is there anything? Oh, Haiti wants an. What about the defensive pacts we have with Ecuador, Mexico, Spain, and Venezuela? Interesting. But they're all in the Russian market, right? Oh, apart from is Ecuador in ours? Haha, Ecuador is in our market. New Granada? No, no chance. Peru? Shall we work on that a bit? I mean, we have some influence. I kind of neglected it, to be honest. What about Argentina and Chile? Chile is in the US market and Argentina in the Argentinian. Now let's see what we can do about that. I think we can get a defensive pact with Haiti. That's fair. Yeah, also in the American market. What do they want there? There's nothing. Come to us. But, oh. My self-declared goal of staying before the US isn't... what? Have they been ramping up their military, or why are they suddenly... Oh yeah. Warmongers. Should I end the rivalry with them maybe at some point? Let's do that, right? When I stop improving, we should have... It's just 400 influence. Yeah, come on, it's time. By the end of this, let's see what they think of us. I ended the rivalry with the States with a little bit of luck. I'm gonna get to a peaceful and happily prosperous trade relationship in the future. Before that, we have passed the restricted child labor, finally. So higher income, lower income actually for the dependents. We can increase our education institution, which I will immediately do. However, despite literacy of 80% is pretty impressive. We're actually number 4 worldwide in terms of literacy. Just outperformed, I guess, by Ecuador? I would say Scandinavian and Norway, Sweden, Great Britain and Germany in this case. But yeah, maybe. Why is Serbia is doing so well all down there also? and lower mortality, so even more people in Mexico. And in the meantime, of course, as you might have seen, there was another migration coming in from Khoisan. Since we have multiculturalism, basically, the entire world wants to come to Mexico. It's a pretty country, of course. So, any chances down here of making them switch to our side? Nope. Yeah, is there anything massive to do over here after our restricted? I mean, compulsory primary school? No. Not yet. We actually have migration controls, but they only affect discriminated people, and we don't discriminate anybody. That's why they don't have any effect in the end. So the next migration wave from Bengal. Well, we could then in the end also say we don't care about migration controls. No, but it will make industrialists will like it. Trade unions would, okay. Yeah, rural folk. That's the problem. Armed forces also would hate it, and I'm just gonna keep it like that. Oh, is there an idea? Maybe we should. No, we have still a census suffrage. I totally forgot. Yeah, industrial still hate it, right? So landowner. Come on, let's do it. Or single state party. Never had this before. Church hates it. Intelligentsia hates it. That's not possible. But universal suffrage, let's try it once again. Even though the landowners are not happy about it now. But basically, also the Intelligentsia? How can they not like it? Who's he? Justo Cuarte. Is he new? I mean, you could moderate him. He's in the moment market liberal. Probably this is market liberal supporting. There's no stance on the voting rights, right? Oil discovered in California, lovely. Yes, in this case we shall also construct all of them. And we crossed the 100 million GDP mark. This is definitely also something we definitely wanted to achieve, I guess. We are above 15 standard of living. Population number 8 in the world. Yeah, it's overall, apart from the hatred in the political landscape, but I guess this is inevitable in Mexico. I'm really, really happy with the situation we're in right now. Could have been worse. Oh, that's a trade agreement with Peru, Bolivia. And then I think it's once again a great moment to end this very episode, since we reached 1913. And yeah, probably there's going to be 1 or 2 episodes more. So let me know what you think. What could be a final good end point for our Mexico for this very playthrough. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know down in the comments your opinions on and other wishes. And yeah, if you want to, you still have the chance to influence basically the next upcoming Victoria 3 Let's Play, since my server is still up until basically I start recording my new show, my new playthrough. Yeah, it would be nice if you participate. Apart from this, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave me a like and subscription if you haven't yet. That would be simply nice and amazing for me. Thank you so much. And then most importantly, see you next time in the next episode. Bye, your Strategy Wolf.